That's that train, by the way.
Who did you start train hopping in?
I first went with, and my friend was the Grand Duke, by the way. Mutt, the Grand Duke of the Hobos. I'm sure he's got to be the king of the hobos by now if he's still living. That's my friend Mutt. He showed me how to do it. I started doing it. I originally did it probably 1990, but I did it as a kid too. I used to jump on the little ones right there. But you know, first thing they tell you about train riding, don't ride in the boxcar. If you do, you gotta spike the door. You gotta take a railroad spike and put it in the door.
What's the reason?
Because otherwise, if that door slams shut, like if the train stops and that door goes shut in any way, you're not getting it open. And they may take that thing over there and park it in Reno and leave it there for 2 years. And then I saw a guy get thrown off a train before. I seen a hobo jump up and kick some dude off the train and throw his dog off after him. Yeah, and he said, I just didn't like him. He just did something right about him.
Really?
Yeah, and he was a nice guy. He was an old man. Got him, just kicked this dude right off the train while he was going along. Well, I did it off and on. I did probably maybe about 5 years altogether. Really, hobos and stuff to ride power. But everybody else, like I just rode on the back of it. I like to ride on the back. I like to sit facing the rear and get one that's kind of has a wall around it. So that way you got a little wind block. Roll all your cigarettes beforehand so the tobacco don't blow away while you're riding on it. You don't do like the movies. You don't get up and run around on the fucking thing. You know what I mean? Because it can kill you. It was fun. It was exciting. You know? But like going through here, we went all the way up. That was nice. And we went all the way into Yuma. There's a great big old thing out there. You go out into the middle of some badlands looking stuff. There's not even a bush or a blade of grass out there. Nothing but dirt everywhere. And there's a big old thing there with infrared and cameras, everything. So all we see, we're all sitting there with like 3 of us, 4 dogs, full backpacks, dudes, chicks, everything. We were a big group. And all we see is this glove come up on the thing like this on the ladder, and it has insignia on it, and it said Homeland Security or whatever. They said, oh, you guys don't look like Mexicans. That's exactly what they said, and they didn't do nothing to us, and we went on to it.
Really?
This is like one of the last holdouts, this place right here. This place is crazy too. This place has history too. Bugsy Siegel used to stay here. It was his favorite place to stay. He was a gangster back in the 60s. He supposedly had a bunch of money hidden, and they killed him. When he went out to California, they killed him. And supposedly there's a room underground here that he used to hide in. And I found several tunnels before they flattened that desert right there. I thought it was out there. Because they've limited my search now. They got rid of all that desert, and I was looking at several spots in that desert that I thought were fine. I even found a tunnel. You know, it was in a diesel tire that had a fake tile in the bottom of it, so it was like a tire sitting there, but it wasn't. When we took the tile out of there, it was a tunnel.
Really?
They went down and over and curved. Yeah, she went on the train with me. She was the one that rode the train with me, was my ex-wife. Brenda wouldn't get on a train. Are you kidding me? Brenda wouldn't get on a train. I'd have to get her drunk. When you get older, you start healing less, and I don't know. I can hustle a car up. I can pay a bus ticket. I traveled every which way, though. I've been all over the place. I used to travel with the Hare Krishnas and everything. I've been out to LA. I was a monk for a long time. I went to Kansas City. I've been all over. I did a lot of traveling. My parents did a lot of traveling.
What was your relationship like?
I was the problem. I was the third wheel. I'm my only child, so it's my parents and me. That's it.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of reasons, I think, for things. But you know, they were both college educated. We kind of have a broken relationship in the sense that I reconciled my own self with my father without him being present. I did that on drugs. I experienced him dying, and I was like, wow, and I felt regret for my life, and I thought he was really dying, and I went through this whole experience where I was like, we reconciled. And I was like, good, and I was like, Dad, so what are you going to do now? He says, you know, I think I'm going to go look around the universe and check out the stars and planets and stuff. And I was like, wow, that's so cool, because I was so stuck on religion, heaven or hell and all this stuff. And then he said, I'm going to go trip around out in space, and I thought that was the coolest thing I'd ever heard. I'm glad I put the words in his mouth, so to speak. You know what I mean? Because I liked it so much better with my words.
Who knows how he would have said it?
Yeah, he would have said some dumb shit about me, criticizing me. All right, pass it, go through. Go, you know what nobody? The same thing that separates them when they die from drugs. They don't know how to swim. They go crazy. That's the same thing that happens to people. It happens to all of them, no matter what walks of life they do. I don't know. I've gave up so many times. You can't just lay down and die. I've tried many times. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
You go lay there.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, you're gonna have to, some bodily function is gonna come up. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to do something. Hey, you guys gotta be in tune at least. Here, was all the crowd down here back in the day, man. We were all 4th Avenue street kids, man. You know what I mean? We were all weed peddlers and barterers and rainbow people. And we was trying to travel around, trying to get to the Rainbow Gathering any way we could. Hitchhiking, whatever works, you know, walking. So the train was another option. I lived out by Mount Palomar Valley Center. I lived in a cow dung shack made out of hay bales and cow shit up on top of the mountain, taking care of llamas. That's the hobo's dream. Cigarette trees and bologna trees, and you don't have to change your socks, and the liquor runs down the rocks. There's a lake of stew and liquor too, and you can paddle all around in a big canoe. You know, that was our dream. You know. Now train hopping has changed a lot because there's a lot of people that are FTRA and all that kind of stuff. Now we kind of always avoided them. You know, we avoided the FTRA because they tend to carry guns. They think they're in charge of the fucking. Yeah, I've seen many things right here, dude, that will blow your mind. I've been here for 5 years, and I've seen them carrying bodies out of here by sacks. They got pills and everything else. I watched a guy die right there on the ground. It was on his fucking birthday. His friend stabbed him. He ran up here screaming and everything. He was gay. You could hear it. His boyfriend, his lover or whatever, stabbed him and killed him. They had the car over here, and they was putting him in the car, talking about, oh, don't feel bad because you stabbed your best friend to death on his birthday. There he was wiggling his legs and sitting there, and then he laid down, and he was still wiggling around, and then he stopped wiggling around. And then when they went over there to take pictures of him over there, they just flipped him over like he didn't grunt, groan, or nothing, man. So he was dead.
Just gone.
And he was gone. He died right there and died. A lot of people, this is a scary place in a way. There's spirits here too. And what the spirit does is causes you to lose something.
What do you mean?
It'll trick you in some way, distract you in some way, that you will misplace what is in your hand that is important to you. You'll set it aside or something, and then you'll forget that you did that, and then you'll freak out, and you'll be like, sure, somebody took it. And this happens over and over. This is a unity experience within every household in here. So you get all mad, oh no, what's up? Oh man, it's eating that stuff up. And I think it's more than just like a one entity thing. I think it's kind of a conglomerate or a big, huge thing.
What do you think is specific about this area?
Because it's been here a long time. A lot of dirt. There's good and there's bad. You just got to deal with it. There's pleasure and suffering. It's a mixed pleasure world. You're going to have ups and downs. If you can expect that. I'm addicted to epiphanies. I like to come up with good ideas on how to switch things. I've done all kinds of things that blow these people's minds out. Oh, wait, here. If you're looking back on this later in your life, I would say, man, you know, I'll probably be gone somewhere. I don't know where, but this is just a passing phase, and it goes really fast, dude. I'm going to tell you that. That's what I'm going to tell you. You're 21 right now. Before you know it, you'll turn around and look, and you'll be 50 years old. You don't believe me saying that to you now, but believe me, it is. It's like that. It goes so fast, you don't even know it. Right now, it seems like you've got all the time in the world. You can loaf off, smoke a cigarette to the filter. You got time to read a book. You got time to do all this stuff. But if you really grasp how fast time is moving with your life, and that's what you will realize when you are 60. You'll be like, damn, it went by so quick. What happened? I find that I wish I could do it all over again. I see why it's thought of reincarnation. Maybe that's how it is. I don't know. I believe in it somewhat. I've studied that stuff too. I spent my life studying all spiritual paths. That was my personal interest. I became a Hare Krishna. I got Krishna in the middle of my chest. You know what I mean? I felt like they were sawing me in half. And then I got Buddha on my arm. It's been there so long, man. It's like ancient. Another Buddha wheel over here. I got a pentagram. You know what I mean? With my chickens. It's a falcon hawk. And then on this side, me when I get mad. I borrowed my dad's truck and I was in Utah and I worked in Zion National Park in the lodge and I was cutting across this dirt road and I was at the top of the switchbacks and I lost control of the washboard and I crammed down on the brake and the truck wouldn't stop. It had big tires on it and everything and it flew off the road and was headed for the edge of the mesa. I was about to go thousands of feet to my death and so I started aiming for this tree to try to hit this tree to try to slow me down and right when I did that, this voice said louder than anything right in the middle of my chest, said, take your foot off the gas and put it on the brake. So I hit the tree just as I hit the brake. Bam! Knocked the tree off. I was hanging by the roots and everything. And I didn't go off the cliff. And I knew that voice, and it saved me. And the funniest thing about it is I drove all the way down to the road, and then I got out to kind of look at it, and it messed up the grill when I hit that tree. I believe that the voice was an angel or my higher self or something. I don't know. But I think the voice was God, man. It was an angel. I think it was God. And I took it as God. I accepted it as God at that point. He said it intervened, obviously. You know what I mean? And I always remembered that because it was a deep experience. Well, one time I got arrested here in the county jail, and I woke up in the holding pit in the drunk tank, and I didn't know why I was there. And so I knocked on the window and I asked the cops why I was there. And they said, "Oh, you're here." They laughed at me. "You're here for felony assault on an officer." And I was on cuff behind the back status. They took me immediately to the 4th floor where I was locked down. You know what I mean? Locked in a cell by myself. The only thing you can have in there is a Bible. So I got my Bible. They shut the door. As soon as they shut the door, that same voice from right here said nonchalantly, "If you read all the Psalms, I'll let you out of here." And I said, "Bet," because I accepted it because I knew what voice it was. I recognized it immediately, and I said, "I knew it's going to be true." That's the only reason, because I recognized the voice. So I said, "Bet," and then I said, looked at the Bible and I started reading the Psalms. And he goes, "No, out loud on your knees. It's specified." Seriously. So it took me 3 days. I was busy feeling sorry for myself and everything, but I did it all. I read all of them. I got to the last one, and really praying, I guess you'd say. And then I got to the last one. I read it, closed it, like waiting in anticipation for this reaction. They promised me, I believed it. Nothing happened for like 5 minutes. So I go lay down on my bunk. I'm like, "Who am I kidding? I'm retarded." All of a sudden the door pops open. The door doesn't pop open. They open a little slot in it. I put my arms through, they handcuff me. Then they open the door. Yeah, this door opens. And then walks this lieutenant. He walks in and he goes, puts his foot up on my thing, does the Captain Morgan. He's like, "You was drunk when you came in here, huh?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "Here, write a letter of apology and I'll let you get you out of here." And he hands me a little bitty piece of paper this big and a little golf pencil. So I wrote, "I'm sorry," and signed it. That was it. And I was out of there. And it was that same voice that told me to read them songs. And there's no coincidence. There's no coincidence.